Okay, now that Carlos Correa is over in Minnesota, let's dive into this a little bit because there's a lot of different opinions. A lot of people feel a certain way about it based on what he's done, what the Yankees have done, what the Yankees have not done, and the rest of the offseason and how things are just unfolding. Did anybody think he was going to go to the Twins? I sure as hell didn't. It is what it is. But the fact is, apparently he was offered $300 million from Baltimore and somewhere around there from Houston. But he goes to the Minnesota Twins on a 3-year deal for $35 million per. Yes, with an opt-out after the first and second year. So if he plays well, he can obviously go back out in the market and try to do it again next year when he'll be the only shortstop available so that Boris, the best in the game, can drive up his price. I get that. And if he also gets hurt, which he's known to do sometimes, he has protection here. By not exercising the opt-out, he can make $35 million the following year. And if he gets hurt the second year, he can not exercise the opt-out and still make the $35 million. Still make $105 million one way or another in a 3-year period. But to me, the question is, why would you not take a guaranteed 10-year deal, which they were looking for, maybe even more than that, when you had this? So there's a lot of different ways to think about it, right? So, and that's totally fine. Now, how does this affect the Yankees? And obviously, Trevor's story's still out there, and we'll get into that too. But so the Yankees made that trade last week, right, with Minnesota, and they sent Gio and Sanchez over there for Isiah Kiner-Falefa, Ben Rortvedt, and they took on Josh Donaldson as well. There's a lot of folks saying, "Oh, the Yankees took on Josh Donaldson. The Twins can do this, and the Twins can do that." And come on, all right, what planet are we spending most of our time on here? Okay, let's be real. And they've alluded to this already. They took on Donaldson. First of all, Donaldson is an upgrade over Gio. Gio was popular. Yeah, we liked him. I liked him too. But in a bad year, Donaldson had 27 home runs and 75 RBIs and still played good defense. Okay? Is he a little bit less than the elite he was? Sure. But they took him on so that they can get Kiner-Falefa and Rortvedt. Let's get into these guys. Kiner-Falefa, 26 years old, so he represents, right, the athletic mold and dynamic player that the Yankees have been saying they want to bring in. He also is known for his hustle, something the Yankees have not been known for the past couple of years. So it's an obvious common sense acquisition, in my opinion. Is he the flashy name like Story or Correa or Seager or Simeon? No. But who cares? He addresses what the Yankees need, okay? And I know it's a lot easier, folks to say the Yankees missed out or they suck or fire Cashman. It's much easier to spend their money than it is for them to do it. So I get that. And I get the desire for some of these guys. Would I have liked Correa to be here? Sure. But not at the expense of other guys as well. And I'll get into that too. Okay? And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. All right? They got better defensively with Isiah Kiner-Falefa. He brought speed. Okay? Right? Stepping into the door at Steinbrenner Field, Yankee Stadium, he had more hits and more stolen bases than any player on the Yankees team. Okay? Any player on the Yankees team. Right off the bat. And I know some people, because I'm getting hammered by it already, people using these cherry-picked metrics of analytics as W, this and that. I get that stuff, but they're completely ignoring other metrics, okay? Those things alone means he gets on base. More hits. And those things alone, the stolen bases means he moves over. And he's the difference between being at first and scoring on a double than somebody scoring, hitting a double and him being stuck at third, like somebody like DJ would be stuck at, because he doesn't have the same speed as Kiner-Falefa. His speed is an advantage, and wasn't one of the biggest complaints this offseason was they got rid of all their speed and athleticism? Velasquez, Tyler Wade, Greg Allen. Yeah, I was disappointed too they got rid of all that as well. But the fact is they just brought speed back. Okay, moving over, Anthony Rizzo. They upgraded to first base. Yes, not Freddie Freeman, but Freddie Freeman got $162 million. Okay. Yeah, and the fact is, too, Rizzo, first of all, he makes us defensively better right out the get, okay? What do I mean by that? Last year, Jay Bruce was their first baseman. They're in a much better position now with Rizzo there, and he looks like he's in great shape, okay, to set us up with the season. So the infield across the board in the infield, the defense across the board in the infield has dramatically increased, okay? And then at that point, you have somebody like DJ, who could play second, who could be super utility. Remember, they brought him here to be a super utility guy. He only turned to second when they tried the Gleyber Torres disaster of a shortstop experiment. So, but that's besides the point, okay? That's also in the past. Now, Rortvedt behind the plate, who they got in this trade as well, is a superior defender. He's 24 years old, so he's 5 years younger than Sanchez, okay? And now you have two good defenders behind the plate, which will dramatically enhance the performance of the starting rotation and the bullpen. Remember, half the rotation last year didn't want to pitch to Gary Sanchez. That's a net negative for them. They were completely at a disadvantage. Voit pass balls, lapses of focus, all different types of. Yes, his offensive output was appealing when he was producing, but Voit dramatically increases that right off the bat. Okay, the catching defense, and no matter what anybody says, bringing in Correa does none of that. Bringing in Story does none of that. Bringing Freeman does none of that. Doesn't improve catcher's defense. Voit did. Okay, he's got some lefty pop too. Higashioka's got some righty pop. So whatever offense they get from them is fine. But the fact is they're getting much better game calling and fewer pass balls and better defense behind the plate. Okay, so the Yankees got better with that trade. Now, like I said, would I've loved some flashy moves? Sure. There's still Trevor Story available, and in my opinion, if you're going to sign Trevor Story, and I don't know that they will, okay, he goes to shortstop. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa goes to second base. DJ becomes a super utility. Rizzo at first, Donaldson at third. If Donaldson gets hurt, you have DJ there to protect him, right, to cover for him. Torres, to me, either sits or gets moved for prospects or pitching of some sort. Why do I say that? Because Trevor Story, also athletic, speedy guy. Both of them have 20-plus bags stolen. Okay, him and Kiner-Falefa. You do not bring in Story to sit Kiner-Falefa. What kind of logic is that? You have both speedy guys on the roster in the field at the same time. Both good defenders, okay? And again, to me, Kiner-Falefa is a good option for a leadoff, and then you put DJ behind him. Then you put the big bats after that. Increases the potential of run production, in my opinion, okay? That's just the way I see it. And again, everybody's entitled to their opinions. This is mine. You guys let me know what you think, okay? But to me, right now, the Yankees are in a good spot. Would I like for them to, maybe bring in Story? Sure, because he has the flexibility to play outfield as well, and none of us think Aaron Hicks is the answer, and I get that. Do I think they missed out on Robbie Ray? Probably. Do I think they missed out on Carlos Rodon? Yep. But this stuff is in the past. It's pointless now fighting about this with other people because it's in the past. We have to see what the Yankees are going to do now. Does he have the potential? And I do think Cashman's going to bring in a starting pitcher. Okay, whether it's Montez or Manea or Luis Castillo to a lesser degree, because I think the GM said they don't want to trade him, but you never know. But this is what happens. And even trading Luke Voit, the prospect they got back for him, okay, it's a big arm. And I know people are already telling me, well, he has a 6-point-something ERA. Look at Clay Holmes before he came here. It doesn't matter. He has stuff that Matt Blake can work with, and Matt Blake will make him better. Okay? Just like he did with Clay Holmes, just like he did with a whole bunch of other relievers with the Yankees. And again, he can either stay here, he throws 102 miles an hour, he's 20 years old. He's got big and a smooth delivery. You've seen footage of it, it's a smooth delivery. Okay, it's not erratic. He can either stay here and be a big arm in the bullpen, potentially, when we have guys leaving the bullpen, Chapman, Britton, and some of these other guys in the next year, or he can be flipped in a trade for somebody like Montez or Manea or whatever. So either way, he brings value. He was their number 8 prospect. And he's a low ball guy, so he's only 1 year out of the draft. Do you expect him to be an ace right now? No. It's not realistic. He's got development to do, just like a lot of the other guys. Okay? Dominguez is an A-ball. Volpe, A-ball. Our top prospects are low ball too. So it doesn't really matter. Okay? And so the Yankees did get better. And again, would I like Kiner-Falefa and Story to be here? Yeah, sure. Would I like Story and a starting pitcher? Absolutely. And there is a chance to do it, but I'm not going to harpoon or just say your Cash should be fired and everybody should be thrown to the wolves or whatever, because it doesn't make any sense. And again, my last thing I want to say is, no matter how much money the Yankees have, not everybody wants to come here and play for the Yankees. It's just reality. Ken Griffey said it the best. He said if it was only one team in the baseball, the Yankees, and they offered me a contract, I would retire. That says enough. Okay, not everybody wants to come here no matter how much money you have. And just because Steve Cohen, while I applaud his efforts this offseason, I'm impressed with what he's done, spent big money, doesn't guarantee that the Mets are going to go to the postseason or win anything. It doesn't guarantee. Throwing money at problems is one thing, but it doesn't solve everything. And again, I know people like to compare this to some people like to compare it to the 2009. The Yankees in 2009 did not have 8 holes or 7 holes they needed to fill. They had like 2 or 3, and they patched them up nicely. This is a different situation. Okay, they have a bunch of holes that they need to fill. And they still haven't added a number 2 starting pitcher, and they have added some depth in the outfield, Ender Inciarte. But I mean, again, he's not a flashy move, but he could be effective. Would I be, happy if they brought in Trevor Story? That would be nice, especially if they play him some in center field and a little bit in the infield. That would be great. Or a lefty bat. which, something that they said they needed, aside from Rizzo, another lefty bat. Story's not that. Correa's not that. Freeman was that, but again, in the past. Okay, but this is my take on this. What's going on here? Okay, I give it an incomplete right now. I give him like a C for the offseason, but that one trade fixed a lot of things, because keep in mind, it improved their strikeout rate, got a lot more better defensively on the field, much better plate discipline. They were 27th out of 30 last year in runners in scoring position, meaning poor base running. They got better at that too. Poor timely hitting, they got better at that. Too many strikeouts with guys on, they got better at that. They got some of the best strikeout percentage guys now on the team. And Dylan Lawson I think he'll do a good job with a lot of these other hitters. Now, if Torres stays, I hope he has a resurgence. I really do. Hope he has a good year. Okay? But if he doesn't, it's logical. I mean, Alexander kind of left it to me as an upgrade at second over Torres. Again, and nothing I'm saying really is, you can look at the stats yourself. It's all facts. It's all factual here. And I'm not saying I'm all-knowing. Nobody's all-knowing. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how great I am, how much I know. Other people can do that. I'm not doing that, okay? This is just my take on what's happened, because a lot of people have different opinions, and you guys are welcome to it. And it's welcome at this channel. We'll definitely talk about this tonight on the live stream. So that's my take. I wouldn't set my hair on fire yet. Cashman is not done. But again, if he doesn't bring in a pitcher, I'll definitely be stressing my disappointment one way or another. So I'll talk to you guys tonight. Over and out.